Part 1. White Clouds. Guardian Moon. Where the goddess dwells. Long ago, the guardian Saros made an appearance during this moon. She had been summoned by the goddess, whose soul was suffering as the flames of war raged across Fodlan. Some believe that high in the sky above Saros, the Immaculate One's mighty wings are what powered the strong winds carrying the Guardian and her forces into battle.
You're here again. Professor, you've been crying. So, even you cry sometimes. Oh, I suppose that was thoughtless of me to say. My teacher, you're so blinded by grief that you can't see what's going on right in front of you. Are you waiting for time to heal your wounds? Or have you curled up in a corner and lost the will to carry on? It does. You've lost yourself. Only you can truly understand your own sadness. Others can sympathize or even empathize, but all anyone else can offer are the tears of an outsider looking in. So I have no intention of crying for you, or of standing still with you. All I can do is promise to reach out my hand when the time comes for me to move forward. The mysterious organization that was carrying out experiments in Remire Village and the chapel, they're up to something near Garreg Mach. The Archbishop has sent the Knights to undertake a large-scale investigation. No information has surfaced yet, but our enemies will soon be discovered. When they are, will you lead us into battle? Or will you just sit here, with no thought for the future that is fast approaching? My teacher, there is a choice to be made. I hope you make the right one.
My. She really is quite arrogant. She spoke her mind without an ounce of reservation. But she is right. The time has come to stand again. You know already what your answer is.
Oh, thank you. You saved me.
If you were to die, then the mystery of our bodies would be revealed. Preventing that was my only aim. I'm afraid you must remain, Kronya. There is something I need you to do.
Oh, of course. I am always happy to cooperate with Solon. Leave it to me.
How annoying.
Flame Emperor, is she offending you? Unfortunately, we cannot take our eyes off her, so there is nothing to be done. You are our greatest creation. We use the defiled beast's blood as the fuel to your flame, that you may burn even the gods. Now is the time to cleanse Fodlan with that power and bring forth our salvation.
There will be no salvation for you and your kind. Those responsible for such gruesome deeds in Dusker and Enmar.
All so that you may acquire the strength you need, all for a purpose.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you. It's a bit hot. Yes.
Wow.
Thank you for the treat. I had such a great time.
I passed! I passed!
If you must weep, then weep. I shall be here for you. Well, it would be ridiculous to not feel anything after something like that. Go on and let it out. I am here.
Professor, I'm so sorry about what happened to Gerald. No, of course my sorrow is nothing compared to yours. The Knights are even now searching for our enemy's whereabouts. They are to report back the moment they find something. If you desire revenge, Professor, you can count me in.
Professor, I'm not even close to being strong enough. I mean, Gerald was so much stronger than me, but even that's enough. I can't dwell on the past. There's no way to know what my future holds, but I do know one thing. Whatever happens, I have to make my own way in this world. I have to keep pushing so I can grow even stronger.
You gotta keep yourself active during tough times, Professor. Even if it seems impossible. That's how I got through it when I lost my parents. If you need help with anything, just come and see me. Eating and training are my specialties.
Anywhere I can hide.
I done yet? I thought I was dead. Can I go now?
Professor.
Maybe. When I heard that Monica was with the enemy, I was surprised by how unsurprised I was. Something was just off about her. It's hard to explain. That said, whenever she had free time, she was always hanging around with Edelgard. I wonder if Edelgard is also... Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm just being paranoid. Please ignore me.
Professor?
Professor? Do you think we'll still be able to graduate? If dangerous things keep happening around here, who even knows? I'm worried. I hope that all the students and professors will be there to celebrate at the graduation ceremony.
Hey. Dark expressions don't suit you, Professor. But well, I'm glad to see you out in the world again. It seems this month will be a quiet one around here. There aren't many knights around to liven things up.
Most of the knights are gone, seeking out the enemy.
Isn't that a bit much? I agree it's important, but is it a good idea to neglect the safety of the monastery?
What do you think, Professor? I agree. We can send some knights after our enemies, but so many? It makes the church seem reckless.
There is no one here who has not heard tales of Geralt's valor. We have suffered a most dear loss. I do not know what the enemy's aim was, but I do know this. After what they have done, we cannot suffer them to live. If there is anything I can do to ensure that justice is brought swiftly, you need only give the word.
Professor, it seems like you're holding up okay, but I'm worried about Leonie. She really loved Gerald. I hope she can bounce back.
I'll say a prayer for Gerald's soul. There's not much else I can do.
Hey!
teach?
I haven't lost a parent yet, so I can't even begin to understand how you must be feeling. But even while you're standing still, the world keeps on moving. I always find that oddly comforting.
Professor, I'm sure you will pull through this because you're so strong, Professor. Best to stay calm during such tumultuous and upsetting times. We don't know the nature of our enemies. If we underestimate them, anything could happen. Yes, I agree. I don't want to lose you too, Professor.
That's,
I've sung lyrics lamenting death many times on stage. But when something like this happens in real life, I'm lost. I don't know what to say, but I do know this much. Sir Gerald must have been very proud to have you as his child.
Professor, I brought some flowers for Gerald. It's the least I can do. Sometimes I feel like all I do is run away. Anyway, I'll go lay them out.
I slipped quietly into the vault and rummaged about, looking for anything we might find useful. There is a group of people who want to kill us, after all. What? This is no time for asking permission. I learned long ago that one can ask permission or forgiveness. It is rarely useful to request the former. Still, it appears the knights have already taken everything useful. There were crest-related objects I thought might be worth studying, so... There you go again with that stern look. Of course I'll put them back when I'm done, assuming they bear no additional use.
I trained with Gerald just the other day. Why? Why did he have to go and die? It's too awful. He didn't deserve it.
Do you have time for a request?
Professor! Hello there.
The other night, I had the honor of sharing a drink with Gerald. He was pretty tactless, honestly. He could be blunt at times, but he always looked like such a proud, happy father whenever he spoke of you.
I'm so glad you're okay, Professor. I was so worried. Oh, Professor, you must be starving. Mercy and I made some sweets for you. We were thinking that if you were to eat something sweet, it might help you feel better.
Baking sweets is my specialty. I'm sure they'll do the trick.
Huh? You think I would be a good fit for your class? I'm not...
Professor, please lend us your ears. Ferdinand is saying impossible things.
I do not see what is impossible about it. All I said was that if you want to go back to Brigid, you probably can. You are the Empire's guest, so to speak. They cannot afford for something bad to happen to you. There would be a diplomatic incident. Someone close to us has turned up dead. So one could argue that you are not safe here anymore.
You were already told. I am learning here, from the Academy. What are you thinking, Professor? I am not returning to home until I have grabbed my goal. I will not be listening to the words of Ferdinand.
No, look, I did not mean to pressure you. Apologies for the misunderstanding.
Professor, I'm so happy to see you. You're finally returning to your old self. To see the light in your eyes again is a gift. It inspires me to carry on as well. As you know, the Knights are searching furiously for any trace of the enemies who escaped. I'll inform you immediately if I learn anything relevant.
I like this dish. It was my father's favorite.
Ah, I can eat so much of this stuff. My stomach's growling just thinking about it.
Hello there, Professor. It is a shame what happened to Gerald. I am sorry. There are no words. Leave some flowers on his grave for me. Hello there.
Captain Gerald's gone. He's gone. And we'd only just reunited. I'm sorry. I'm sure this is even harder on you. But I just can't. I can't believe.
Hey, I hope we get a chance to practice together. I know I'm in a different class, but...
I'm so sorry. I never quite know what to say at times like these. Just don't push yourself too hard too soon. It's okay to allow yourself to be sad right now. Losing someone dear to you. Well, each loss is unique, but it's a feeling I know very well. That said, Professor, Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Oh no. Professor, thank you for all you have done for us. Nothing to report today.
Hello there. This one, yes? Return soon, please.
Hey, welcome.
Come again.
Excuse me. Not just Tomas, but Monica, too. We can't be sure who to trust anymore, can we? Who are these people, really? What do they want? Huh? I'm really flattered.
Well...
Professor. Oh, Goddess, hear my prayer. Please receive this beloved person. When the cold rain washes the body, when the bird and wolf announce the dawn, receive them into your blue blood. Receive them into a twinkling star. That's a morning scripture from the Church of Saros. Lady Rhea taught it to me. I pray that Geralt is happy in the next world.
Professor, I'm scared. I feel that I don't understand the world. How could something like that happen to Geralt? He was so strong. You're inspiring, Professor. I'll do my best.
Excuse me. Professor, how are you holding up? I know how heavily grief weighs upon one's heart. I lost my mother some time ago. It was... Forgive me my moment of weakness. Even all these years later, I cannot recall that time without feeling the pain as if it were brand new. Just know that I am praying for your mind and your heart to find peace.
First Tomas, and now Monica. I do have a theory, though I admit it is nothing more than speculation. Both Tomas and Monica have each gone missing at one time or another. It was reported that when Monica returned from her disappearance, she began to act like a completely different person. As if, perhaps, the real Monica had been killed and replaced by an imposter. Thinking of it like that, it is possible that this Solon had been impersonating Tomas for some time. How they managed such a convincing change of appearance, though, I still do not understand.
Really?
Is something hiding just behind that book? That ring! I have seen it before. Ah, I know. Geralt showed that ring to you beside a grave. Do you recall? He said he wished for you to have that ring one day. That means it's yours. He also said that you should gift that ring to someone special.
you've lost someone very dear to you. I'm so... You have my sympathy. Manuela and I can take on some of your workload this month. We can't do all the teaching, but at least we can lighten the load for you. I've always seen strength in your eyes. I know you'll recover. You're a very strong person.
Right. I have something rather uncomfortable to discuss. It's about the weapon that killed Gerald. Will you listen? It was a dagger, but I know enough to know it wasn't an ordinary dagger. It wasn't made of iron or steel because whatever it was, the wound it left wasn't normal. Who could make a blade like that, do you figure? I wonder who they were.
Really?
Hey!
First Tomas, and now Monica. I am so sorry. The failing was clearly our own. We didn't notice the enemy's invasion. And now Gerald. I apologize. There is nothing I can say to atone for our sins. Professor, please do not let your guard down even among the people of the monastery. There is no way to know where another enemy may be hiding.
Monica von Ox. There is nothing suspicious in her past that would suggest this change of character. Her transformation must have something to do with her disappearance last year. Sadly, that is the extent of my knowledge. I wonder who kidnapped her, and why.
Well...
Professor, you have lost your father. Now more than ever, do I understand how very lucky I am that you were able to save me. Professor, I deeply appreciate what you have done. Thank you. If there is anything at all I can do in return, please tell me, okay?
I've never been much for condolences. How about a little logic instead? The knights have spread out around Garreg Mach in search of Gerald's murderers. Thus, the monastery's fighting strength is, for the moment at least, depleted. Perhaps that was the enemy's real objective. We should be prepared for further confrontation.
Excuse me.
First Tomas, both Tom. It was as if thinking of it, how they managed.
Excuse me.
Really?
Professor, let me sing for you. Do you not like my voice? It would make a Pegasus dance with joy.
I'll keep my voice down. Don't want people thinking I'm vying for attention. But how loud is too loud?
Professor.
Eating delicious food really takes my worries away.
I appreciate any good meal, but nothing beats enjoying my favorite food.
Professor.
Professor, I'm sure you... Yes? I'm actually very... I'm sure...
Nothing worth celebrating. Praise isn't necessary, really. I'm improving. I'm... Nothing.
Nailed! I'm getting it. I'll get it next time, too. That went way better. Let's put this to the test. That thing.
That looks like... I'm getting the hang of...
No need to just continue with the praises. I would like... Well, may I?
Okay. Professor.
Nothing is impossible for us.
Dear Goddess, please protect us.
Amazing, no?
The utter discord. I cannot stand it. I do wish everyone would listen to one another.
Regardless of the quality, this is a good chance for us to prove our solidarity.
I am grateful.
It's raining, Professor. On rainy days, the wound I got from the Death Knight hurts like fire. Every time it aches, I get angry. You understand, yeah? I'm sure they had their reasons to kidnap Flame, but still. Did they really need to stab me? What'd I have to do with it? They ruined my beautiful porcelain skin. Worse, they took off before I could stab them back. So rude.
That's rather enough, Manuela. Cease your moaning and give the professor a break.
Oh, stuff it, Hanneman. Unlike you, the professor has a big heart and listens to me talk about any problem I have.
More likely, your incessant ramblings offer no chance to interrupt.
Is that true, Professor? I knew it! You listen to me because you care about me, don't you? Ugh, go away, Hanneman. Leave us alone. And stop making me shout. It causes the old wound to hurt again.
Then perhaps you'd best stay quiet. Keep your emotions in check, I'd say.
Don't worry, Professor. We do this all the time.
Indeed, Manuela and I do not mix well. Been true for years. That said, if it were up to me, I would prefer speaking to her in a calmer manner.
It's not like I enjoy bickering with you. So maybe keep your mouth shut more often.
I state that which needs to be heard. For example...
I'm sorry, I couldn't help it.
Same. Apologies. I am here because I have new information on the Death Knight's hiding place.
What? Really? You could have started with that.
Several students have reported possible sightings on the western edge of the sealed forest. While the authenticity of these reports has yet to be verified, it is still a very real possibility. I was thinking I would report this to Seteth as a precaution.
What? Why? We can't be slow. He's going to get away.
Protocol on this matter requires reporting to Seteth, then Lady Rhea, then...
Professor, let's leave this old geezer behind and get going.
Old geezer? I am barely 15 years your senior. I will not hear such...
Stop talking! Let's gather a team and get going! I'll go scout ahead. I'm coming for you, Death Knight.
Manuela, wait. It would not do to get yourself killed without someone to avenge you. Manuela's in a tough spot, Professor. Even if she's only got herself to blame, we cannot abandon her.
We have plenty of visitors today. Let's stop their annoying rescue attempt.
Now that is a woman.
Uh-oh, they've noticed me. Here they come.
I will get the victory.
My turn?
Witness frigid pride.
I am Ferdinand von Eyre. Stay focused. Battle.
That's my cue.
Let's take them out.
That was nothing. Can't get ahead of myself.
Yeah.
I won't go down so easily.
Flame Spirit, protect me. I am greater now.
This'll make the job easier.
Predictable.
I will not be stopping.
Back to the fray. I need a nap. Watch and learn. That was nothing. Not so fast. That was nothing. The noble standard. Each
battle a chance to grow. I still have much to learn.
Thanks so much. Winning's always nice.
What a bunch of meddlesome losers. Maybe we should take a hostage for leverage. Capture that woman. We'll show them what the Death God Gang's made of.
Death God Gang? What kind of childish nonsense? Where's the Death Knight?
No hesitation. You fought well. Not so fast! It's over. That is that.
A fine example.
A weak point. Do try again.
Truly amazing.
Thanks.
Witness frigid pride.
Missed.
You fought well. As expected. Each battle, a chance to grow. You are nothing.
Don't let my age fool you.
As expected. Another step forward.
No use. I will not be stopping.
fought well.
Let's all do our part.
Got to try.
Better luck next time. I'm not at my best today.
We are the Death God Gang. We're all unstoppable.
I will win!
I can't wait to challenge you.
Manuela, are you uninjured?
A few scrapes and bruises, but yes, I'm well enough. How could anyone think that was the Death Knight? It was obviously just an ordinary bandit.
Manuela, you unthinking fool.
Hanneman, I've heard enough already.
How bloody stupid are you? If that were the real Death Knight, you'd have new, likely fatal wounds to match your first. Do you know how much you worried all of us? You should be ashamed.
Oh, no.
This is a matter of life and death. It should not and must not be taken lightly.
You're right. So there, I said that. It's true, but... I'm sorry. I'll apologize to everyone later.
I should say I'm sorry as well. I lost my temper just now. I see you act so irrationally and I lose my wits. I care about you a great deal and wish to see you safe. Will you believe me?
Yes, of course. I'm the same way after all. I let my emotions get the best of me. We're both too old to be shouting all the time. You're awfully quick to put a bow on this. Are you sick of us already, Professor?
You're part of this, Professor. We are the only teachers this academy has. No need for bickering.
Well said, Hanneman. Would you care to join me for a celebratory drink?
That sounds lovely. Perhaps a nice cup of tea is in order. No matter how old one gets,
You're so good at teaching that you make me jealous. You're... Let's...
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Maybe I've grown.
Ugh, will Father never learn? All of these useless letters are only creating more rubbish in the world. Professor? Oh, I didn't see you standing there. My apologies. Oh, that paper. Well, Yes, it was. It was a letter from my father. I understand where you're coming from here, but I have no need of such things. It isn't like anything of importance was written on it. Curious? I suppose there's no harm in allowing you to read it. Go on then.
My dearest daughter, Ingrid. Are you well? I trust that you are behaving yourself and refraining from causing trouble for others. Things on the home front are in order. The marriage proposal for you and the Viscount's son should be prepared soon. Although, I am quite certain there are many superior candidates at Garreg Mach Monastery. As you know, the very survival of our family is dependent upon whom you marry. You are the only one left in the family who can make things right. We are all counting on you. Do not lose sight of what truly matters.
Yes. Perhaps you found it somewhat entertaining. I've told you that we've never been very well off financially. My noble family, House Galatea, branched off from House Daphne in the Alliance. Shortly after, we were lucky enough to receive the support of the royal family, allowing us to attain nobility, to some extent. But the territory we watch over is poor, its harvest meager, and our noble blood too has grown thin. Neither my father nor my brothers bear a crest. I, however, do bear a crest. Because of this, my father sees me as our family's one hope for the future. A crest is highly prized among nobles. Were I to marry into a greater noble family, that financial support could soothe our woes. Thank you, Professor. Your sentiment alone is a great comfort to me. Despite my own feelings, I understand his approach to all this. It isn't that he doesn't care for me. I understand it very, very well, which is why I apologize, Professor. I must be going.
Amazing, no?
One step before the next step.
Thank you so much.
have success!
If you must weep, then weep.
Hello there, Professor.
No.
Hello there.
Excuse me, Professor. I know I lost my mother some time ago. It was... Forgive me my moment of weakness. Even all these years later, I cannot recall that time without feeling the pain, as if it were brand new. Just know that I am praying for your mind and your heart to find peace.
First to both Tomas, it was as if thinking of how they managed.
Practice yields results.
Excuse me.
You've lost some... Manuela, we can't do... I've always... You're a very...
I still have much to learn.
I wonder who the...
I'm sure you will. Yes? Can I help you? I bet you've come to invite me to your class. What with my stupendous grades and all. I would actually enjoy being in your class. Quite a lot. This was a successful interaction, I must say. Please provide me with all the most challenging assignments. I want to be well equipped for the future. I'm so glad you're okay. We were thinking that. Huh? You think I would be a good fit for your class? I'm not sure. I'm so glad you're okay. We were thinking that. I'm so we were thinking. We were thinking. Oh, I'm already heading.
Professor.
I would be liking that greatly.
Ah, I can eat so much of this stuff. My stomach's growling just thinking about it.
I love this stuff. Did you know that?
This is nearly as delicious as Mother's cooking.
I would happily eat this every day.
Okay.
Professor. Ah, there you are. I apologize for calling you in so suddenly. Please, sit. There is a matter I would like to discuss with you. I believe I've told you this before, but it is my responsibility to aid the Archbishop in all her duties. Spiritual instruction, ceremony oversight, donation management, all of the Church's many administrative tasks. I oversee not only the priesthood, but also the Knights of Seros and the Officers' Academy. The Archbishop entrusts a great deal to my discretion, and I am honored by her confidence. Even when she must make decisions herself, she often seeks my counsel in advance. And yet, your appointment to a teaching position at the Officers' Academy was a complete surprise to me. Not only that, but you have also been entrusted with the Sword of the Creator. I was as surprised as anyone else to learn that. Frankly, I am just not sure how to handle you. I am the Archbishop's right hand, and yet when it comes to you, I have been told almost nothing. Not quite. I do find you to be a trustworthy individual, but my subjective opinion is not enough. I have a duty to be cautious. Should the Archbishop's trust in you prove to be misplaced, it is the faithful who will suffer most. First, I would like to know just how much you know about yourself. You are the child of Gerald Eisner, correct? That's quite a vague reply for such a basic question. In the future, I would advise you to answer such queries with confidence. As the former captain of the Knights of Seros, Gerald was renowned throughout Fodlan. If you really are his child, then no one would voice any complaint about you joining the Knights. How long has it been since you became a mercenary? Given your youth, that hardly seems likely. Come to think of it, I have never asked your age. Just how old are you exactly? Your face says it all. You truly don't know, do you? Just what was Gerald thinking, raising you this way? Given your responses thus far, I feel as though any further questions would just be a waste of our time. However,
Permit me to make one thing clear. Whatever her reasons, the Archbishop has placed great faith in you. Do not betray that trust. That is all.
Taking care of some weapon maintenance, Petra? You seem completely absorbed.
Yes, taking care of the weapons has great importance.
I cannot argue with that. That weapon there, is it from Brigid?
No, it is a weapon of Dagda. But the people of Brigid used them often.
Fascinating. I have read about the weapons of Dagda, but this is my first time seeing one in person.
Lots of weapons and fighting techniques came from Dagda to Brigid.
Ah, so Dagda to the west had a big influence on the Brigid archipelago. I am fascinated by foreign fighting techniques. Would you consider teaching me sometime?
I will. But it is difficult to explain fighting with words. We can try sparring, maybe?
Yes, a practical demonstration. I would be quite grateful.
Let's have our beginning then.
Perhaps we should stop there.
Oh? Do you think you have understanding of the fighting techniques from Dagda?
Yes, now that I have experienced it firsthand. I used to look down on foreign fighting styles, but I was clearly remiss. The footwork, the nimble way you shift your weight is extraordinary. I will have to remember those moves for the next time I am in battle. Clearly, you have honed your skills through practice. Your fist felt as sharp as a spear.
Brigid is stuck in between Dagda and Fodlan. It is of much importance to hone our fighting techniques. I am of the royal family, but I am a warrior before that. I must fight to live and to protect my home.
When the alliances of Brigid and Dagda encroached on the Empire, they were always driven back. But perhaps the Empire's victory was due to geographic advantage or divine intervention, rather than military superiority. Having met you, that is what I think. I cannot help but feel a little disgraced. I held foreign fighting styles in such low regard without ever seeing them for myself.
When I came to Fodlan, I felt disgraced for many things that I learned. But there is no disgrace in losing ignorance. We need to be learning and growing with each other, always.
Yes, by working together we can make progress. And both sides need to look ahead to the future.
You're in high spirits today, Dorothea.
Yes, I have met someone quite charming recently. I'm hoping we can spend more time together soon.
Well, I wish you the best of luck. I wish I had some advice to offer. Alas, I do not.
Don't worry too much about it, Adie. I'd guess romance isn't really something you're interested in anyway.
I'm not completely disinterested.
Oh yeah? Is there someone you have your eye on?
To be honest, there's nothing resembling romance in my life at present. It's not that I'm disinterested. I'm simply too busy with other endeavors. I have no time to spare for such things.
That's not surprising. You're not just any old noble, after all. Anyone who has feelings for you, well, they're in for a pretty complicated life.
True. And I can't ignore the possibility that I may have to marry for political purposes. I doubt I'll ever have the opportunity for a passionate romance as long as I live.
That's no way to talk. You meet the right person and boom, you have passion to spare. Could be someone you've just met or someone you've known your whole life. There's no telling how life will go. Something could even spark between the two of us.
You and I? Now that is an entertaining thought. If such an exciting future is in store, I look forward to it.
Oh yeah? That's awfully sweet of you, Adie.
We've come such a long way. After all, I was only 4 years old when we first met.
From your perfect memory, Lady Edelgard, I expect nothing short of the utmost precision. Do go on.
Please don't mock me with such frivolous praise. I can hardly recall that day.
Forgive me. I suppose I must have been 6 at the time. I have no recollection of it. My earliest memory of you is of when you were injured. I recall being scolded most sternly by my father. "You are Lady Edelgard's servant," he said. "You must protect her with your life."
I had no idea. But House Vestra has served House Resfeld for generations. Given that, I suppose I shouldn't be surprised.
Indeed. After that, I made certain to accompany you wherever you went. That is, until the incident.
Ah, when my uncle, Lord Arundel, defected to the kingdom and took me with him.
The sensation of loss that overcame me on that day defies all description. It was as horrific as if I'd lost all my limbs. I left the city in a mad rush to rescue you. My father sent soldiers to capture me. I fought them off for 3 days, but they did finally manage it. Of course, I was only 10. I never would have reached Ferdiad.
I've never heard that story before. So there are things you've never told me.
It wasn't important.
That's beside the point. I wish to know these things. If there's anything else you're keeping from me, please tell me at once.
Respectfully, I decline.
Why? It's a simple order. I really must know.
Speaking of your orders, there was a task you gave me earlier which I have yet to carry out. Excuse me.
Wait just a moment. I just hope he's not hiding anything too worrisome.
Can I go now? Am I done yet? Am I done yet? Can I go now?
Too easy!
I thought I was dead. Professor.
Oh, I love this meal. How did you know?
I like this dish. It was my father's favorite.
I still have much to learn.
My efforts were not in vain.
Nailed it! I'll get it next time, too. Thanks for your help.
Maybe I can't believe... It's starting to make sense. Oh, I'll try to get the next one, too. That was no. Professor.
Amazing, no?
Got a grasp on this.
It's all instinct now.
Professor, I know where the enemy is. Where Solon is. They're in a place called the Sealed Forest, close to the monastery. The Archbishop is gathering the knights to begin a search. She's doing so in secret, behind our backs. She must be afraid that a thirst for revenge will compel you to seek them out. Now that you know, will you give us the order?
No.
I will not allow it.
This discovery comes just when the knights are at their busiest. It is all too likely that our foes revealed themselves to lure you out there. They are the ones who took Geralt from you. I know how you must despise them, but I must ask you to rein in your personal feelings for now.
Please, Professor, do not act carelessly. I ask that you leave this to us. Losing you so soon after losing Geralt would be unbearable.
Lady Rhea, our professor is not acting out of revenge. Sending us out there is the most strategic move we can make. You can't deny it. Most of the knights are still far away. Not only does our professor wield a hero's relic, but there is no one here who is more powerful. Seteth and the few remaining knights can't leave the monastery unattended. We have fought under our teacher's command countless times. We are the most effective army here, and we are already prepared for battle. We have no idea what the enemy is plotting. We must act now.
Professor, do you agree with this strategy? Understood. I will give you the order. Destroy the enemy that is hiding in the sealed forest. You have the protection of the goddess on your side. Whatever happens, you shall overcome.
Let's go, my teacher. Whatever happens, do not lose your conviction out there.
We are now within the sealed forest. We must not let our guard down.
Professor, we'll avenge Gerald for you, no matter what.
Remember, it is a bad idea to get distracted by revenge.
I have readiness. Our enemies will be taking... we will take our enemies down.
Well, it's not like we have any other missions this month. I suppose this is as good a way as any to spend our energy.
Lindhart spending energy? We'd better finish this fast before the pigs start flying everywhere.
Lower your voice. The enemy could be close.
It is time to repay the kindness of the professor who saved my life.
Professor, I know I'm the one who insisted we come here, but don't doubt for a moment that the enemy is waiting for you.
Lady Edelgard, what are you saying?
What other objective could they possibly have? We have no clue what kind of trap is waiting for us. Please be careful, my teacher. We can't afford to lose you.
The enemy is strong, but you will prevail. You must.
Look there! Demonic beasts! I suppose they aren't holding back.
Hello, you're here! Welcome to the Forest of Death! My name is Kranya. This weakling girl was just a borrowed look for me. This is what I really look like. Now, you vermin, I'll take down every last one of you.
Stay focused.
Oh no.
I am Ferdinand von Eyre.
I will prevail.
That's my cue.
Battle.
As you wish.
I will get the victory.
Put me in there.
Who, me?
If this takes too long, I might be forced to escape.
Oh, or do you simply intend to let me go? How accommodating of you. As for me, I intend to kill you all.
It's a long road yet.
Let the lesson begin!
Well done.
Allow me.
I'll show you a plan.
Here we go! I'm just getting started.
We'll cover you.
I created a plan. I will help also.
I think now is good. Okay, I've got it now.
Flame Spirit, protect me.
Right makes might, right?
stop me! All roses have thorns.
Well, like what you see.
Have I improved some?
I'm surprised. I thank you. No hesitation. Should I have held back?
Your skill is impressive.
Each battle, a chance to grow.
My heart is full of victory. I am greater now.
Don't try and stop me! You see that?
I won't go down so easily.
I will master this. Hardly worth my time. This strength will serve Lady Edelgard well. Back to the fray.
Your defeat was inevitable.
Know your limits. Well done.
Let the lesson begin! You fought well.
I won? I wonder how much more I can learn.
Yeah, it worked! I'm just getting started. I owe you one.
If only my research had such results.
Thanks.
A great help.
You're a fool to be so brazen. You'll never avenge your father at this rate. I'll have to kill you too, with my own hands. This is gonna hurt.
We'll support you.
It's time. We must all do our part.
Oh, how cute! You're trying so hard! But now it's time to die! Keep away from me!
Is this power really mine?
Keep it up.
How could I really lose to a lowly creature like you?
Well,
Solon, don't just stand there and stare. I need your help.
yes, you most certainly do.
Huh?
Have no fear, Kranya. Your sacrifice will help to rid this world of the filthy vermin that have long infested it. Unleash the forbidden spell of Zaharas upon our enemies!
Please, help me.
Be gone with you, Fellstar.
That could only have been magic. What happened to our professor?
They were swallowed by the mystical darkness of the forbidden spell. An eternity wandering in a void of nothingness, never to return to this world. To think, we almost had the sword of the Creator.
You're lying! Our professor is alive, I know it!
That's right. Our professor is no ordinary human.
It is hard to fathom that our professor would die in a place like this.
It is possible that death has yet to find your friend, but there are worse things than death. Drifting through the darkness with no chance of escape, overwhelmed with hopelessness. It must be torturous.
You're already boasting a victory, but know this. If you did use such devious tricks to stop our professor, I swear that you will regret it.
I cannot help but agree with her this once. Even if our professor is trapped in darkness, that is not the end of their story.
I will not forgive such arrogance. If you prefer it so, you shall also be added to the ranks of the dead.
You fool! What were you thinking, charging right into an enemy's trap? Are you just a boulder that rolls down whatever hill it's on? No, even a boulder has more sense. Apologizing won't make things right! This darkness is terrifying! As you and I are one, I too am trapped within this void. But please consider this. This realm of darkness we are in is separate from the world from which you came. I mean that it would take a god to leave this place. In time, our hearts and minds will cease to be. Are you prepared to die? I thought as much. I also do not wish to die. And yet... there is no other choice. Do you recall your father's diary? He said you were a child who never cried nor laughed. I think I am the one to blame. I must have been asleep, but even then, I feel I was a part of you. I do not know how Rhea managed it, but she allowed me to exist inside of you. The truth is, I have always been with you. It is within you that I found my power yet again. The power of a goddess. The power of the progenitor god. My name is Sothis. By now, you must be well aware of what that means. I am the one who watches over Fodlan and the creatures dwelling there. I am Sothis, she who died and then returned. There is but one thing left to do to save us from this darkness of eternity. I must now use the power of a god. However, I lack a body of my own, and so I must relinquish all the power that I have to you. The time has come for you and I to join as one. And when that comes to pass, then I shall disappear. When I say disappear, I do not mean that all I am will be no more. My soul will join with yours, and you and I will never be apart. But I will no longer have the chance to speak with you. I shall miss it. So long have I been on this path with you. Through you, I got to see and hear this world. I even got to chastise you from time to time. I may not have acted like a goddess, but it was certainly fun. For all that you have done, thank you. I'm glad that it was you to whom my fate was bound. Now, we must pray. For if we share this wish, our spirits too will join as one. Your wish is to return to the forest, stop the enemy, and rescue the little ones. No need for words. I know your heart as though it were my own. Your will and mine are now as one. Both sides of time are revealed to you, and you alone. You know I am the beginning. What shall you do?
Professor, it is you, right? I knew that you would always come back to us. I'd like to ask about your appearance, but for now, let's dispose of our enemies.
What did you see in the darkness of Zaharas? This should be impossible. The only being that can withstand that darkness is... Unless I dispose of you myself, I may never have the chance to send you back there.
prevail.
I'll strike you down!
I am Ferdinand von Eyre, as you wish.
This is critical.
My plan is flawless.
Together, we can't fail.
I'll show you a plan.
Battle?
How humiliating. For Lady Edelgard. This strength will serve Lady Edelgard well.
I'd rather be napping.
I can't wait to challenge you.
Put me in there! Right makes might, right? Time to set.
You're better than I thought.
Unexpected. That's my cue.
Who, me?
Yeah! You'll be repaid.
I will get the victory. Flame Spirit, protect me.
Stay focused. Each battle, a chance to grow.
Oh no.
I will not be stopping.
Who, me?
I have no time to waste on the likes of you.
I thank you.
I am terrified by you. Even though an emotion like fear has no place inside me, that means you must be eliminated.
Much needed. Predictable. It's over.
To think that I would lose to mere beasts.
Another step forward.
But this is not the end. Tullus will carry out our mission somehow.
It's over. Now, Professor, about your appearance. That hair. And those eyes. You remind me of someone. What happened to you? The goddess. I see. Well, I'm happy for you. Your weapon is called the Sword of the Creator, after all. It's no wonder she looks favorably upon you. Just as it was with Saint Saros, no doubt. And just how will you use this new power, Professor? That is so like you to say that. Tell me, if the world, and your students included, were to divide and go to war with each other, what would you do? In that scenario, each side would represent both the world and your students. Who would you? Professor, have you fallen asleep? This must be a side effect of your recent changes. I can't just leave you here. I could try carrying you, but no, I had better call for Hubert.
In time's flow, see the glow of flames ever burning bright on the swift rivers drift, broken memories alight.
Professor, you must remain still. Everything is all right. There is no need to worry. Those who are trying to harm you are far away. How lovely it would be for this moment to last forever. I wish I could hold on to this time we have stolen, that you and I could create a world without end. I have heard whispers of what happened to you. Your appearance. You have received power from the goddess. From the moment you took hold of the Sword of the Creator, I prayed that one day the radiant power of Sothis, which bathes Fodlan in its celestial light, might reside within you. But you are so much more than the light. You are my... Close your eyes, dear one. Sleep just a while longer. I will be watching over you, always, always and forever.